High above a rugged, wind-swept mountain range, where the peaks pierced the clouds and the valleys lay cloaked in mist, an eagle named Alaran ruled the skies. With majestic wings spread wide, he patrolled his vast territory, a silent guardian of the wilderness. Every day, Alaran soared on powerful thermals, his keen eyes scanning the land below for signs of life or danger. His dominion was one of raw beauty and harsh challenges, a world where survival depended on strength, agility, and the unyielding call of freedom. On one crisp morning, as the first rays of sunlight painted the mountaintops in hues of gold and amber, Alaran embarked on his daily flight. The wind whispered secrets of the wilderness, carrying with it the distant rustle of leaves and the soft murmurs of the forest that hugged the mountain slopes. It was during one of these serene flights that Alaran noticed something unusual, a faint movement among the rocks and scrub vegetation in a secluded clearing. His sharp eyes, accustomed to spotting even the smallest shift in his realm, focused on a figure lying awkwardly against the rugged terrain. Curiosity and an unspoken duty stirred within him as he descended closer. There, nestled in the shadow of a weathered boulder, lay a fox with a coat as fiery as the setting sun. The creature's delicate frame trembled slightly, and a deep, sorrowful gaze betrayed signs of injury and despair. This was no ordinary encounter in Alaran's world. The injured fox, whom he later came to know as Rowan, was an unexpected visitor in his vast, unyielding landscape, a fragile soul clearly in need of help. In that quiet, isolated moment, the eagle's instinct as a hunter clashed with a burgeoning sense of compassion. Alaran had long mastered the art of survival, guided by the raw laws of nature. Yet, as he hovered above the wounded fox, a profound empathy took root. The sight of Rowan's vulnerability resonated with something deep within him, a recognition of the shared struggle for life amid the relentless challenges of the wild. As the cool mountain air swirled around him, Alaran circled once more above the clearing, weighing his options. The usual code of nature, which dictated a solitary existence and fierce independence, seemed momentarily suspended by the simple truth of another creature's suffering. In that instant, the eagle made a silent vow: he would not turn away, would not let the hardships of the wild claim another life without offering a chance for healing. Thus began an extraordinary journey, a tale of unexpected kindness and unity in a realm where survival often meant solitude. Unbeknownst to both Alaran and Rowan, this day marked the start of a bond that would challenge the natural order and shine as a beacon of hope in the vast, untamed wilderness. Hovering high above the rugged landscape, Alaran wrestled with a decision that defied the unyielding laws of nature. His heart, usually steeled by years of survival in the wild, now fluttered with an unfamiliar tenderness as he watched Rowan, the injured fox, shiver in the shadow of the boulder. The eagle's sharp eyes took in every detail: the fox's labored breathing, the subtle tremors of pain in his limbs, and the quiet dignity that persisted despite his vulnerability. After a long moment of silent deliberation, Alaran spread his powerful wings and began a slow, deliberate descent toward Rowan. The air, crisp and cool at high altitude, grew warmer as he approached the fox. With each powerful beat of his wings, Alaran felt a mix of trepidation and resolve. He knew that stepping into the fox's world meant challenging the long-held traditions of the wilderness, where each creature was expected to fend for itself. Yet the sight of Rowan's suffering compelled him to act, urging him to bridge the gap between predator and prey with an act of kindness that was as rare as it was courageous. Landing gracefully on a low, sturdy branch near the clearing, Alaran kept a cautious distance. He regarded Rowan with gentle, unblinking eyes, as if silently asking permission to be near. The injured fox, startled by the unexpected closeness of a creature that traditionally symbolized dominance, hesitated. But instead of reacting with fear or aggression, Rowan sensed something different, a warmth and sincerity that belied the eagle's fierce reputation. His tense muscles slowly began to relax, and he allowed Alaran's calm presence to ease his discomfort. Alaran knew that words were beyond his reach, yet he communicated volumes through his measured actions. He made a slow, deliberate movement toward a nearby glen where a small, clear stream trickled through the rocky terrain. Carefully, he guided his flight path so as not to disturb Rowan, circling above the water before landing on a low branch that offered a clear view of the stream. It was a silent invitation for Rowan to approach the water and soothe his parched throat. Though hesitant at first, the fox, driven by both necessity and the reassuring aura of the eagle, edged toward the stream. As he drank, Alaran kept a vigilant watch, ensuring that the moment remained peaceful and unthreatened. The descent was not merely physical, it was an emotional journey for Alaran as well. His mind, honed by years of solitary hunting, struggled to reconcile instinct with empathy. Yet in that moment, the eagle's innate understanding of the fragility of life won over. He recognized that in the vast tapestry of nature, compassion could be as essential as survival. Every beat of his heart echoed the silent promise that he would stand by Rowan, offering help even when nature demanded indifference. As the sky darkened and the first hints of twilight graced the rugged horizon, Alaron remained perched on his branch, steadfastly watching over the fox. The bond that was beginning to form was not one of obligation, but of genuine concern, a promise that, against the harsh rules of the wild, the strength of empathy could prevail. In that quiet moment, the eagle's compassionate descent marked the beginning of an unlikely alliance, one that would soon ripple across the wilderness, challenging old beliefs and sowing the seeds of hope and healing in a world where such acts were as rare as they were miraculous. As twilight deepened into a velvety dusk, the delicate balance between Alaron and Rowan began to shift from cautious coexistence to a fragile yet growing trust. The injured fox, still wary of the eagle's imposing presence, observed Alaron's gentle actions with a mixture of curiosity and relief. Over the course of that long evening, an unspoken understanding began to blossom between the two, a silent dialogue built on shared vulnerability and the basic instinct to survive. Alaron, ever vigilant, maintained his steady position on the low branch, his sharp eyes scanning the surrounding woods while also keeping a compassionate watch over Rowan. The eagle's presence, once a symbol of predation, was now a guardian in the eyes of the fox. In response, Rowan's initial hesitance gradually gave way to cautious movements. With each quiet step towards the stream and each tentative sip of water, he acknowledged the support offered by the majestic bird. In a series of subtle, deliberate gestures, the two creatures started to communicate beyond the boundaries of their natural roles. When Rowan paused to lick a wound on his leg, Alaron spread his wings slightly, as if offering a comforting embrace against the chill of the encroaching night. The air between them seemed to thrum with a mutual understanding, a recognition that in the vast, indifferent wilderness, they had found an unlikely ally in one another. Encouraged by the eagle's continued patience, Rowan slowly allowed himself to move closer. He inched toward a small clearing where moonlight filtered through the canopy, casting a gentle glow on the soft undergrowth. There, the pair settled into an uncharacteristic communion. Alaron, with his head tilted in quiet curiosity, observed as Rowan delicately inspected the ground for herbs and leaves with potential healing properties. Though the eagle could not offer medicine in the traditional sense, his steady, watchful presence lent Rowan the strength to try. As the night unfolded, soft sounds of the forest filled the air, the whisper of leaves in the wind, the distant call of a nightbird, and the subtle rustle of small creatures moving in the underbrush. Within this natural symphony, Alaron and Rowan found solace. Their earlier differences began to dissolve, replaced by a shared moment of mutual care and survival. The wounded fox, buoyed by the eagle's protective shadow, managed to rest for the first time since his injury. Meanwhile, Alaron remained alert yet calm, his mind no longer solely occupied by the instinct to hunt, but by a growing desire to ensure that Rowan was safe and comfortable. In this tender exchange, nature's harsh rules seemed momentarily suspended. A bridge was being built between two very different worlds, a realm of soaring heights and another of furtive steps on the forest floor. Their emerging bond stood as a testament to the possibility of compassion transcending the natural order, offering hope that even in the rugged expanse of the wild, kindness could be the most powerful force of all. By the time the stars began to shimmer in the night sky, both the eagle and the fox had discovered that trust, once established, could pave the way for healing. Their shared silence, filled with empathy and understanding, marked the beginning of a partnership that would challenge the conventional laws of nature and forever change the way they, and perhaps even the forest itself, viewed the meaning of true companionship. As the first blush of dawn began to erase the shadows of night, a new day brought with it a gentle promise of recovery and transformation. In the quiet aftermath of their first night of tentative trust, Alaron and Rowan emerged into a forest bathed in soft morning light, a realm where every dewdrop shimmered with hope and every rustling leaf echoed the promise of healing. The forest, with its ancient trees and winding trails, became both a sanctuary and a teacher for the unlikely pair. Alaron, ever watchful, surveyed the landscape from his high perch while occasionally gliding down to offer comfort or guidance. His presence was a constant reminder that despite the unyielding laws of nature, compassion could bridge even the widest of divides. Rowan, still fragile from his injuries, found a steady source of strength in the eagle's unwavering support. His cautious steps through the underbrush were accompanied by Alaron's silent vigil, as if the eagle's very spirit lent him courage. Together, they ventured deeper into a part of the forest rarely disturbed by the harsh realities of survival. Here, sunlight filtered through a canopy of leaves, creating a mosaic of golden patterns on the forest floor. In this tranquil setting, nature itself seemed to offer its remedies. Rowan, his senses gradually returning, began to explore this new environment with renewed curiosity. He discovered patches of wild herbs known among the forest dwellers for their healing properties. With instinct and cautious experimentation, he nibbled on a few leaves, and soon a subtle change became apparent, a soothing warmth that whispered of recovery. Alaron, too, participated in this silent healing ritual. Perched on a sturdy branch above, he spread his wings wide, catching the soft currents of the morning breeze. As he soared over the treetops, he kept a protective watch over Rowan, ensuring that the forest's beauty was not marred by lurking dangers. Their bond deepened with every shared moment, a mutual understanding that while each of them belonged to different worlds, their hearts beat in unison in this shared quest for renewal. Throughout the day, their journey unfolded like a carefully written tale. They encountered a babbling brook that cut through the forest, its crystal-clear waters offering not only refreshment but also a metaphor for the cleansing nature of time and care. Alaron led Rowan to the brook's edge, where the gentle flow of water soothed the injured fox's parched throat and washed away traces of despair. The sound of water cascading over smooth stones provided a rhythmic backdrop, punctuating the quiet moments of reflection and silent camaraderie between the eagle and the fox. In the quiet corners of the forest, where shadows played and light danced in intricate patterns, Rowan began to regain his strength. His wounds, though still tender, started to mend under the attentive care of nature and the eagle's steadfast presence. Alaron, in turn, felt a subtle transformation within himself. The once solitary hunter, bound by the rigid codes of the wild, now found his heart expanded by the simple act of nurturing a wounded soul. Their daily routines evolved into a graceful ballet of mutual care, Rowan's cautious forays into the healing grove, and Alaron's vigilant watch as he circled overhead, ever ready to intercept any threat that might disrupt their fragile peace. As the day turned toward dusk, the forest itself seemed to celebrate their progress. The sky transformed into a tapestry of soft purples and pinks, and the chirping of crickets mingled with the rustle of leaves, a symphony of nature welcoming the night. In these moments, both Alaron and Rowan found solace in the rhythm of the wilderness. The injured fox, who once lay vulnerable and alone, now moved with a quiet dignity, his eyes reflecting gratitude for the unexpected kindness that had come from above. Their healing journey was more than a mere recovery from physical wounds, it was a profound evolution of spirit. The eagle and the fox, each a symbol of the wild's relentless struggle for survival, had discovered that the path to healing was paved with empathy, trust, and the courage to defy nature's harsher dictates. In embracing the healing journey together, they had begun to rewrite the unwritten rules of their world, a world where predators and prey could share moments of vulnerability and strength. By nightfall, as the forest hushed and the stars emerged to punctuate the dark canvas of the sky, Alaron and Rowan settled into a quiet clearing. There, amidst the soft glow of moonlight, they rested side by side, a living testament to the transformative power of compassion. In that stillness, every whisper of the wind and every shimmer of the night seemed to affirm a simple truth, that healing is not merely the mending of wounds, but the forging of a bond that transcends the boundaries of instinct and circumstance. Thus, in the gentle embrace of the forest's healing magic, the eagle and the fox began to truly understand one another, a bridge built not of necessity, but of heartfelt care, laying the foundation for a future where kindness reigns supreme over the ancient laws of the wild. As the forest awoke to a new day, a tangible shift in the air signaled that something extraordinary had taken root. The bond between Alaron and Rowan had not only healed wounds and defied ancient instincts, it had become a living symbol of unity and transformation throughout the wilderness. In the soft, golden light of early morning, animals of all kinds began to notice the unusual alliance. Birds perched on branches, their songs now carrying a hint of wonder, while small mammals peeked out from their burrows with curious eyes. Even the trees, standing as silent witnesses to the ever-changing rhythm of life, seemed to lean in closer as if to embrace the new spirit of the forest. Alaron soared high above, his majestic wings cutting through the crisp air, now carrying not just the power of a solitary hunter but the quiet pride of a guardian. Below him, Rowan trotted along the dew-laden underbrush, each careful step a testament to the courage that had driven him to trust an unlikely friend. Their synchronized journey had altered the fabric of their shared environment, a living reminder that the fierce divides between predator and prey could, in rare moments, be bridged by compassion. In the heart of the forest, a small clearing became their sanctuary, a meeting place where the forest community gathered. Creatures that once saw each other solely through the lens of survival now exchanged cautious greetings and subtle nods of acknowledgement. It was as if Alaron's selfless act had rewritten the unwritten rules of the wild, sparking a quiet revolution in empathy. Even the most hardened predators paused to watch as the eagle and the fox, symbols of natural order and delicate vulnerability, shared moments of care that transcended their instinctual roles. News of their unusual friendship spread far and wide, carried by the whispers of the wind and echoed in the rustling leaves. Other animals, inspired by the duo's example, began to assist one another in times of distress. A wounded deer found comfort in the gentle patter of a hare's feet, a lost fawn was guided home by the steady flight of a vigilant hawk. Each act of kindness, however small, wove itself into the tapestry of the forest, creating a legacy of unity that defied the harsh dictates of nature. In that clearing, under the watchful gaze of a sky streaked with the blush of dawn, Alaron and Rowan rested together. Their eyes met in a silent exchange filled with gratitude and understanding, a shared recognition that their bond had not only changed their own destinies but had ignited a spark of hope for the entire wilderness. As the day fully blossomed, it became clear that a new era was dawning, one where strength was measured not by solitude or dominance, but by the willingness to care, to bridge divides, and to forge bonds that celebrated the delicate interdependence of all life. Thus, in the gentle embrace of a new day, the legacy of the eagle who refused to leave an injured fox behind was forever sealed, a living testament that compassion, when nurtured, can transform even the most rigid laws of nature, uniting disparate souls in a harmonious dance of survival, empathy, and hope.